Hi folks, what we have here, you can't see it, I'll just turn it round, is a Hacker Centurion high fidelity unit, as it's described as. It's a, oh that needs sorting out. It's a record player. It's a record player only unit. I'll just turn it round. There we go. I paid the princely sum of £5 for this yesterday at the swap meet, and it's got a Garrard SP25 Mark III deck with a gold ring cartridge in it, and some pillock at some point has also stuck a dust bug on, and they always leave a residue that you can't bloody get off, so I'll have to leave it on, despite the fact I hate dust bugs. Anyway, I'll see what I can do about that, but I might have to leave it on. There's a slight chip in the corner here. I can't grumble, it was £5. And we'll see about what we can do. Oh, there's sockets on the side, I didn't see those. I didn't see those sockets on the side. Just noticed them now on the camera. They'll be for radio and tape recorder. Yeah, tape recorder. Radio, yeah, that'll go well with my Sony. I might keep this and use it with my Sony reel to reel. And unfortunately folks, there's not really a lot you're going to be able to see because the lid's in the way. Let's just shift this fucking horrible dust bug. Just put that there. There's the old stylus, that's knackered. But the Garrard looks not too bad. The Garrard looks not too bad, folks. And what I'm going to have to do, I don't know how I'm going to do this so that you can see what I'm doing, because I'm not taking the lid off. I might have to actually. I don't really want to. Don't want to take the lid off. Yeah. I'll be back in a minute. Right, we've got the lid off. Right, we've got the lid off. That's the lid sorted. Which is, let's get the camera sorted. There we go. Right, that's the lid sorted. Now we get these screws out, and you get into these hackers from the top. Now, one of my favourite brands, Hackers. I think they're brilliant. Really good players. Someone's been in there before me, because that would have been nice and tight when I left the factory. It now doesn't tighten. Either that or one of the things has fell inside, but I did hear something rattling around. Even so, someone's still been in there, because they can't fall out with the screws in. Anyway, we'll see what we get when we lift the skirt, but I'm expecting this actually to be quite in good nick, and I'm certainly expecting that. I will be honest, I have plugged this in and it does come on, but not really much point in me showing you, because there's not much point in me showing you because it needs a stylus. Right. And the back is, the motorboard is stuck down solid and there's no other screw. Oh no, hang on a minute. I nearly didn't spot them. Hacker, you hid 2 screws from me. You naughty people. There we go. Yeah, these were very well built machines, these. I had one many years ago, the Centurion 2, with the, that was the model with the built-in FM radio on it. Or VHF as we like to call it. It was a brilliant unit, and I sold it and I was sorry I sold it. So, this one's every bit as good, I know that, but without the radio. Come out, you. There we go. Well, hey. Right. And just like you expect, with Hacker, always make sure that you unplug these, because you have to take the plugs out. There we go. Yeah, I say just like you expect with Hacker, but it looks like they've thrown caution or tradition to the wind on this one. They might have soldered the bloody pickup wires in. Let's plug that back on. See, look, put the little dinky plugs on so that you can unplug things. Is that soldered? Yeah, it is. Oh, they're not, they're plugged on. So the red one goes to the left side and the right one goes to the right side. So, there we go. That's the SP25. Removed, Mark 4 removed. Now, let's have a look. Let's get me coffee. And have a look, see what we've got in the way. I'll just give you a brief description. I want to use the telephone in a minute. I'll just give you a brief description. You got your power supply all over this side, nice transformer here. You've got all nicely grounded and shielded at the bottom here, look, really well done. Top marks on that Hacker. You got your preamplifier here, and I'm going to start off with this by spraying the controls, because I know they're noisy, so I'm going to spray them. Do you know, don't you just hate it when your straw comes off? They feel a bit graty, those, but there again they will do. I mean, you have to expect that. This thing's a years old. But once it's been used, it'll be alright. I'll get a nice set of speakers for this, because it sounds good with a nice pair of speakers on them. and you know, everything plugs in so it can be worked on. They're really, honestly folks, these are really nice. They're a nice design, they're a nice unit. Yeah, they're a lovely unit, these. They work really well. As I say, I had one, and very sorry that I sold it, because I shouldn't have. And you know, the one I sold had a bloody radio on it. I was dead disappointed after I sold it. It was one of those sort of things, you know, where, you know, when all the buttons out, it was one of those moments where you know, something else came along, and you know, and I just wanted something else. I can't remember what it was. I just wanted that at the time, and all them buttons will be cleaned up. They'll come up like new. All these switches, all these knobs will be cleaned up. I'm not pulling the front and stuff off this. There's no need. A good clean will do the job with everything intact. Right. So what I want to do next. That's your feed to your amp, your preamp, radio and tape socket. You see, none of this has to come out as far as I'm aware, because I'll give it a dusting down. That's all it's getting. Anyway, folks, I just want to use the telephone a minute. I'll be back in a minute. Right, so I just tried to ring my friend Phil, but I've not heard from him for a bit, so I just tried to ring him, but no answer. Anyway, hope he's okay. Anyway, the smoothing capacitor, or as the Americans call it, the filter capacitor's got a bit of a bulge in this, so that could probably do being replaced. So let's pull that out and have a look at the values. See if I've got one to match it. This is going to be a mission, pulling the bloody capacitor out. It's on these great big bloody teddy clips. It's clipped in. Oh. There we go. There we go. Let's see what the value is. What's the value of you old bastard? 4,000 microfarad at 40 volts. Well, it is swelling, so it does need to be replaced. So let's have a look in my capacitors, otherwise I'll have to order one. I hope I don't. Going out. I hope I don't, because I want to get this knocked on the head. Scraps, move, you're in the way. Move! You're in the way. Out! I'm getting thin, you know. Right. If I've got a 4,000, it's going to be in here. 400 volts. 120 microfarad, that's no fucking good. $150 they're all in the wrong fucking places. Oh, fucking wrong places. I know I've got some because I bought some in. Oh, what's this big fuckers in here? Oh, they're no good. They're 45 volts. Wouldn't say what make they are. They're old anyway. Don't want to put those in. They are the right ones though, but they're second hand. But they are the correct ones. Yeah, what we got here? 16 volts, that's no fucking good. It's the right value though. 1000. No good. No good, we need a lot higher than that. Yeah, what we got here? Oh, we're getting there, 35 volts. See if we can get the tray out because the tray appears to be stuck. I can't get the tray out so I can look at the rest of the capacitors. These are good ones, all 25 volts. Fuck's sake. Right. There we go. That's the tray out. I bet there's nothing in there I need now. Let's have a look. $35 volts. 220. 35 volts. None of them will do it either. Oh, they're all 25 and 35 volts. No good. No good at all. You can't put less voltage in. You can be a bit economical with the microfarads, but not with the voltage. You've got to be right. Do you know, but I haven't got any. The one bloody value I'm looking for. One I want and I ain't fucking got one. Now we've got some new ones here. These are actually a little. What are these? I bet these are from the 16 volts and all. 63 volts, 1000 microfarad. Not enough. It's too low that. And I've just had them ones out, I think. Yeah, 16 volts, that's no fucking gonna go pop. I bought a good selection the other week, but obviously not good enough. Because I haven't got the values I need. Never mind, let's get these two out of here. Let's get one of these. And these here are the right value. 45 volts. It's a bit more than what's needed, so let's just use the ESR. They're not swollen. So let's check at the ESR tester. Let's check its ESR. There we go. Right. I mean, that one that's in there is swollen, so there a minute. Just check the ESR of this one. I've just took out of my stash. I mean, it must be good because it's been saved, so it must be okay. But there again, %0 ESR. Wow, that's a brilliant one. And 6,802. 6,800. That's bang on the money. I'll use that. That is actually bang on the money, folks. It's actually on the money, that one. It's pretty much anyway. It's Scraps, will you lie down? Just put the testers there for a minute. Right. Right, this is a bit thinner, so I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. Whoops! Right. Hey, you nearly toppled over again there, folks. You need to stop drinking. Right, so let me have a look at this now, how I'm going to deal with this. Because I'm going to put this one in. Right. Right. Clean all the crap off it. Not that I want to make it look like a new capacitor, just want to clean the crap off it. What I might do, if I can't find a way, let's plug the soldering iron in. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Get the soldering iron on, because I'm going to need the soldering iron. I mean, I bet this capacitor itself, I bet it's okay, but if I'm not happy with it, then I'm not happy with it. It's as simple as that. I like the way a hacker do this, you know, they hide the fuses behind this little cover. I wonder what impedance these amplifiers are, because it usually says on the back minimum load and stuff, but it doesn't on here. I need to find that out. Somebody on YouTube will know that. What I might do, folks, I might restuff this capacitor. Might attempt to restuff it. We'll see in a minute when I get it out. But it's definitely got to be changed, because while I'm thinking about that, let's work out where I'm going to put this one. I mean, this is a damn sight smaller, but well, actually I could put that in there and just pad it with something and it'll hold it. I can sort of rig something up for that. Can sort something out for that, but you know, there is a difference in size. And what's the value of this one? 400 at 40 volts, and this is 600. Sorry, that's 4,000, and this is 6,800 and 45 volts. So that's good enough. That'll do the job. It's a little bit higher than the original, but and I need to, and that's a circuit board mounted one as well, so Right, but we'll sort something out with that. We'll sort something out with that. It's just got to get this fucker off. I mean, in fact, what I could do actually, folks, because I'm not putting this one back in, what I could actually do, because I'm not putting it back in anyway, because obviously I'm not putting it back in because it's fucked, it's knackered, so I can just snip the bloody legs off it. I mean, there's people probably sat there cringing. Yeah, you don't do that, you desolder them. Of course you do. Yeah, but it's easier to do it this way. Just snip. If you can get your bloody pliers in, your wire cutters, you just clip the legs off. Or in my case, I can't get the fucking tool in, so what I'm going to do is just wiggle it. And snap them. There we go, that's one off. Get that behind there, and that way it keeps all the wires. Come off, you bastard. There we go. Keeps all the wires together as well. And as you can see, there's... As you can see... There's a lump just there. Just there. So that's... I'm going to, out of curiosity, measure its ESR. But because it's got a lump, it won't be going back in, and it'll be going in the bin. No matter how good its ESR. I'll tell you what, you know, I love these little testers, you know. Where were you 30 years ago when I first started? 0.2, oh, it's only 0.2 of an ohm. And the value actually is okay, but because it's swollen, it's not going back in. But it's actually quite, it's still in pretty good nick. Capacitive wise, you know, electrically wise, it's still okay, but according to the tester, but because it's swollen, it's obviously, you know, it's obviously got to come out for that reason. But right. Dee. Now what I need to do, fuck me. There we go, my switch cleaner fell on the floor. What I want to do here now, I want to cut round this and see if it's possible to restuff this. Just cut round the ring. See if it's possible to restuff this capacitor. I mean, I've seen people have restuffed them before, but there's your, what do you call it? There's your swelling there. I mean, this is actually very stuffed. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do this one. Now, I've cut right around that, so let's see if we can. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try and lift this out. Fuck that, too much like hard work doing that. Right, so what I am going to do, that's a bit small, that for there, but only just. I reckon I can do something about that in a bit, but what we'll do, we'll get it soldered up first. Get it prepared and get it soldered. Aye. Right, that's your negative. There we go. And let's put some new solder on this lead here. And some new solder on yon positive lead. I mean, in theory, I could solder the bloody capacitor to the fuse, one side of it, straight to the fuse, and just have the negatives go, but then it'd be putting the negatives too near the fuse then, so I'm not going to do that. That is a real bodge and it's a no-no. That is not going to happen. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to solder this onto that. And you know something, folks, the hardest one to do is always the last one. It's always the hardest one to do is the last one, because you can never get your fingers in. Let's get a bit more solder. You can never get your fingers quite in. And when you do, oh, I'm lucky here, I can hold that. Oops, we're not on there yet. See, the hardest one is the last one, because you've got to try and get the component, and you've got one of the negatives sort of bloody bolted down, and it's difficult to get in. There we go. There we go. Right, well, we're in. Yeah, we're in. What I do, just push that into there for now. I mean, that won't be left like that. That will have a proper job done on it. I would never ever dream of leaving that like that. But for testing purposes, folks, that's ideal. Right, so that's that done. I'm just looking around everywhere else. I'm not going to pull the amplifiers just yet, because as I say, I plugged this in and it seemed to, apart from everything being a bit crackly, it seemed to work. But I need to get this capacitor sort of clamped in, and I think I've found a way of doing that, because I can clamp that in. Actually, speak first, it's your money. Hello Phil, hang on, let me just pause the video camera. I'll be back in a minute, folks. Right, I'm back off the phone now. What we're going to do now, going to start servicing the garage, and to do that I'm going to, yeah, it's actually pretty clean, this garage, it's not bad, one of the better ones. Apart from some fucking monkey's ass in the past that stuck a dust bug on, which I don't want. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get it off with the heat gun. Right, well, I've got the dust bug off, the only thing is it's left a residue. Which I'm going to have to pick off. When you do this, think of it as one of them scabs that you got on your knee as a kid. You know, when you fell off your bicycle. And you gently start at the edge and work your way in. You know, that's how you get the dust bugs off without there we go, Andy, look at that. Oh, I knew it would work. It was exactly what I planned on doing. Get the circlip off it. There we go, that's the circlip off. Them dust bugs are a fucking nuisance. Now I'll get the cycling gear nicely lubricated. Nicely heated up rather. And as you can see, I'm doing this with a heat gun. There we go. That's the cycling gear off. And that there is that there. Let me just get my pointy doofery thing. Where's my sticker upper? I don't know. Well, that thing there, where my finger is, that has got to move. That little cam follower has got to move. And it's as solid as fuck, so it's got to be lubricated. It's got to be heated up. There we go. Look at all the lubricant bubbling around in that now. We'll turn that now. There we go. And what I'll do now we've got that turning, what I'll do, I'll spray a little bit of switch cleaner down it, and that'll break up all the lubricant that's down there. There we go, look at that. Anyway, the motor's okay, the idler's okay. It's nice and clean, this, for what it is. It's not bad. Anyway, I'm going to make myself a brew because I'm thirsty. Right, I'll be back soon, folks. Hey folks, we're back on the Right, well, I'm back now. I've got my tea on the go, and I'm about to service. I'm servicing the Garrard SP25 Mark III that came out of this. Came out of this hacker. Right, what I'm doing, I'm servicing the cycling gear, but there might be certain areas of the shot that you don't see, and unfortunately there's not really a lot I can do about that. But that is a stiff. That is really stiff. Right, so I'll take the top of the. This is called the Paul. It's not spelled the same way as the name Paul. It's spelled a different way. It's too cold for my brain to work on spelling, so I'm not going to. But trust me, spelled a different way. Anyway, and that is full of grease. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get the heat gun. I'm going to heat the bottom half of the Paul up so that we can get it out. You know, if you can't see everything, I apologise, but there we go. There we go, that's melting lovely now, that grease. There we go, that's melted. And I'm going to put that back onto the holder. Now, all I'm going to do here now is take the cycle gear off, and I'm going to clean. I'm going to might have to scrape that, but all I'm going to do, you might not see all of it. There's not really I can do about that. I mean, there is someone who moans he can't see every little thing I do, you know. But look at that. That's greases as. No wonder that was stuck in there. Right. But you've all seen me do this a million times before, but for those that haven't and can't be bothered searching through my videos, I have got, for those of you that are interested, you know, from an electronics point of view, I don't mean people that want to just sit and listen to me swear. Well, you can do that if you want, but from an electronics point of view, for people that are really into it, I have got a tape recorder coming up. It's an EMI, or rather the amplifier's an EMI from what I believe, but I suspect, I'm not certain, but I suspect that the mechanism is a ferrograph or something along those lines. I believe it was owned by the BBC, but we shall find out more about that when it comes time to work on it, which is going to be very soon, very near future. That's that video's coming up. I'm just trying to find my freaking brush that I use for putting my grease on. There, I've got it. because I have a special brush. It's not a special brush, it's just a brush. But I use this brush for only for putting grease on. It doesn't get used for any other purpose. And that's what this brush gets used for. Now, right, I also need to get the ball race out of the middle. Someone's already been in here. Somebody has already been in here and tried to oil it up. Somebody's already been in here and oiled this up, but that's no great problem. That's no great issue at all, because it means I'll just put a little bit of dab of grease on the ball race and pop it back in. Because I put a bit of grease on them, I don't see the point of oiling them just for the oil to run off all over the bloody place. There we go. So I actually grease them. Put a bit of grease on that there. There we go. The top of the bearings, there we go. And that'll last another 30 years, 40 years, whatever. There we go. Now, I know there's some of this you can't see, I keep saying that, but what the problem is, I don't want to move the base of the record player off the off here, because I just want to put it all back together, because I've got a few jobs to go through. And let me just clean this little gear here. Not gear, this little right. Give that a clean, get all the crap out of it. There we go. Put a bit of oil down that. A little bit of oil. A bit of oil down into that. There we go, that'll work its way in. A bit onto the top of that there as well. And right, let's get the grease and just paint a little bit onto this. I've got my tea in the oven as well, folks. I'm absolutely starving. My stomach's as empty as Ben Johnson's trophy cabinet. Right, so that should go back in there now. It shouldn't have any issue. It has though, look at that. That's as tight as a duck's arse. So obviously it's got crap in there, hasn't it? So it's got crap in it. There we go. There's crap in it. Let's just push it through. There we go. Do you know what annoys me? And it really does annoy me. People who bought these in the 70s, when they were new, they paid all that money for them and bragged to their friends what they'd got and all this lot, and yet they never kept it serviced, never looked after it. You know, I've just bought this, yeah, but never had it serviced. Never looked after it. I mean, I look after all my stuff. I was brought up to do that because I know how hard it is to get things. You know? Little drop of oil down there. Little drop of oil down there. Yeah. And all I'm doing is just dropping a little bit of oil down into the thing. I mean, the BSR ones you're not supposed to oil, but the Garrard ones you can, because they're a different construction. That's still stiff. I know what it is. I know what it is. It's just... That shouldn't be stiff, that should be dead slack. Like that. But when it gets to that, it's tightening. What it is, it's crap on the bottom. It's actually shit on the bottom of the gear. Let's try that. Let's just pop it in that way. Right, let's clean the shaft. It's crap that's on it, that's all it is. Shit, really. Get me Stanley knife and just go around, make sure there's nothing on there. Because whatever's on there, and there's bits on there. Try that. That's got it. That's got it sorted. I hope. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That should be free like that, you see. Drop a bit of oil down it again. It's had a bit, but do a bit more. See, that practically falls out of there now, which is what you want. So just drop a bit of oil in. Like I say, the Garrard ones you can oil because they're a different construction to the BSR ones. Let's give that a jiggle. There we go. Let it all work down. There we go. That'll do it. It'll do it. Put the circlip back on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, spot on that. Yeah. And that goes into there. I think it goes that way around, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It goes that way. The amount of these I've done, and I have to question myself. Shame on you, Andy. Shame on you. The amount you've done, and you have to question it. Now. There we go. There you go, that's how it should be. There you go. All sorted. Now, let's put a bit of grease, let's put a bit of oil just on the shaft. That'll do. You don't need a lot. A little goes a long way. Put a bit more grease in here because most of it's bloody come out. Put a bit of grease around that there. A bit of grease just around there. And put that there. Now let's put the that's it. Yeah. That's how it should go. It should just drops neatly on. Now let's test the mechanism. Well, that appears to work. Now will it switch off? No. And the arm doesn't come back to there either. So, well, we're done on that part anyway. The clip can be put back on there. And let's flip the deck upside down. Right. Well, that there's okay. So what is actually causing it? Let's see. Well, that's gone off that time. But it shouldn't go off, it should move over. There we go. No, that shouldn't go off. Unless, of course, let me just check something. Let me just check it, there we go. Just move the arm across, see if it'll go over, which it doesn't do. Yeah, before it did. So on. Oh. And bring that back. Now, is that arm stiff? I don't say I've got a lot of work to do. That arm's very stiff. Oh, hang on. That's it. No, it's not stiff. I thought it was. Let's try again. That should come back down. It has done. But too fast and switches off. That's done it. There we go. Right, what we'll do is just give it all a bit of a lube. Give it a bit of a lube. So we'll just turn this upside down. Make sure that the head of the arm is out of the way of everything, and we'll just smash the head of the arm off. Right, so basically it's just really give it a bit of a lubrication, just give it a bit of a drink on the pivot points really. And it'll all find its way down. Well, that won't, it's on top of that frickin' spring. There we go. Now let's get the paintbrush, give the push pad a bit of grease. There's no grease on here. As I start getting excessive wear. It is. Right, what about this? Let's check the speed selector. I didn't check that, did I? I would imagine it's okay, usually. Yeah. I will actually just go and check my tea in a minute. But I mean, this has had some lubricant recently, but not a lot. And somebody's attempted to lubricate this, probably to get it ready to try and get it working correctly to sell it. But I've done a quick job. Now let's just put the deck back onto there. Tighten that weight up so I don't lose it. Lift that up. Manually operate that. $33.12. Yeah. Yeah. Try 78. Yeah. The other thing doesn't always come back there. Don't know why. Might be slightly out of adjustment. That's supposed to come back. Now at the time it's supposed to go over to 10-inch. Right. Right, let's just give it a quick. There we go. There we go. That should sort it out. See how we are now? Do 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 do. Yep. Yep. Sorted. Done. Now, to clean the idler, that can be done after my tea, because I want to get my tea, folks. The reason why is, well, I shouldn't have to say why I want my tea, should I? You already know that. Bloody hungry. Right. So what I can do now, I can plug the deck back into the main unit. I've got to put a cable tie on this capacitor here to hold that secure, but that's no problem, that'll get done. Everything's got to be tested. Right, so I'll tell you what, more expensive a unit gets, the easier the manufacturers make it for you to be able to service it. They build it in. They build it in. Simplicity gets built in for you to service it. It's on cheap shit that you can't get the bloody things apart. But expensive stuff, this would have been when it was made. That would have been an expensive unit when it was made. I'll tell you that for nothing, folks. And that there, I thought it was cardboard. It's not. It's actually like a leather. Right, so all I've got to do is clean the idler. All that now works. There we go. Next cycle it should switch it off. Yeah. Right, so we're happy now that we've done. We're happy now that we've done the capacitor. We've done the smoothing capacitor. We've done, or rather, I have. I've done the smoothing capacitor. I've checked it. I've had a look at everything else. I'm happy with it so far. I mean, I plugged this in and yesterday there was no hums out. It was just very crackly. I've got to sort this on-off switch out because it's not completely centred. Anyway, that's to come anyway, folks. I'm going to get my tea. See you later. Right, hey, we're back. Put my giglets back on. Right. I'm just looking at the idler. I've cleaned it. I cleaned it off camera. You've seen me clean an idler before. So basically it's just a matter of, whoa, put the turntable on, drop a bit of oil down the centre there, the centre bearing, the spigot. There we go. That'll find its way down. And the other thing I don't like about these, let's just lift that back off again and make sure the oil does sort of sink down. There we go. The other thing I don't like about these is when people take the clips off, they don't do it right and they fuck the clip up. The clip is supposed to go on there like so, and then you're supposed to get something in the hole there and clip it on, but you can't, you see, because that'll stay on now. If somebody's stretching, when people pull them off, they arrive at them and really go at it and they end up snapping the friggin', they end up stretching the clips. Which is which defeats the object of the clip being there, because it can't do its job. Get in here. That's it. That's the centre piece of trim back in. Now the centre spindle. That's it. Let's try it all by hand. That's right. Let it come off. Yeah. Right, what we'll do now, folks, we'll just get a set of, put the deck back in correctly, get a set of speakers and a stylus, because there's no stylus, so I've got one I can borrow. So I'll put the multiboard back in. There we go. That's it. Right, I'll be back in a minute. I'll just go and get a stylus. Right, well, we're back. Just get the camera a bit straighter. There we go. Well, we're back. Let's get our Leo Sayer record out again. Yeah, right. Let's make sure it's going to drop the stylus on the record and not on the fucking mat. Move it on a bit. That record's knackered at the beginning. Right, well, that's working. Switch is still a bit crackly even though it's been sprayed.
There's nothing left to say.
Let's set this arm up because that is dead heavy. Just set this arm up. The correct way, I'll show you how to do that. The correct way is to turn that so that it's on 0 and then adjust the weight at the back. The arm is up. Now bring it back in. That's too heavy. And the arm just floats vertical now. As you can see, it just floats there in mid-air. You now tighten the screw. There we go. Now I'll set that to, I'll set it to 3 grams. Now let's get our stylus scale. I don't expect it to be accurate, but I expect it to be there, so I expect it to be in the ballpark at least. Whee, there we go. 2.35. 2.35. It's a little bit out, but that'll do. Anyway, let's try again. Bit of distortion in there.
She says that she would have me spirit her with all my images till there's nothing left to say. Oh, saint you are. Tells me wants me, then she tells me not to go. She tells me that I couldn't hold.
Shut up, Scraps.
She knows.
There we go. These buttons could do it a bit more, but obviously, but there's no hum there, no hum at all in that. That's not bad. Let's put an LP on. I mean, this record's badly scratched. Let's go to make sure it lands at the beginning of it. Oh, I'm going to adjust that a bit. That's the treble, the bass.
Where are those happy days? They seem so hard to find. I try to reach for you, but you have closed your mind. Whatever happened to our love? Every day in the morning on her way to the office, you can see her as she catches a train. Just a face among a million faces.
I mean, the speakers are rubbish, folks, and I think that's what's doing it. I have actually got a nice pair of speakers I'm going to put with this, which should have solved the problem of the distortion. But the sound generally is nice and clear. We have one more go. Let's put the arm on another track. See, that's our volume. Right, left. I'm happy with that. And there's plenty of torque in the turntable. Look at that. I mean, these gold ring cartridges, there's not really a lot of, they're actually a low gain cartridge. These gold ring cartridges actually are a pretty, they are a bit of a low gain cartridge, to be honest with you folks. I want to just adjust it under the, here, I want to adjust the set down point, if I can get my fucking screwdriver, you see, because I want to just adjust it, so. Let's try that. Just so it goes just a little bit further into the record. That's better. That's better. Alright. Seems to sound better with that filter out. Right, well I'm happy. I'm actually happy with that, folks. And you don't need to see me put the lid back on or put the screws back in there. I've got to pull this back out again because I've got to sort of secure that capacitor so it's good and tight, the replacement, and I've got to well, that's it. Just secure that capacitor so it's good and tight. And that'll sort the problem out. No problem with it then. But I'm going to let it run for a bit. This on-off switch needs sorting. It's not quite in the centre, and I'm not sure why. But I know the plate isn't out, so because you know I know that. But anyway, that's the Hacker Centurion high fidelity unit. All sorted, and it gets to live another day. And like I say, I've got a nice set. I've got a nice set of Hitachi speakers, which should complement it quite well. They've got tweeters in them, and they're. I need to find out how many ohms this is. I don't know, because I've got no service information. Oh yeah, I might have actually. No, I might have actually. I'll have a look. Pardon me. I'll have a look in me. I'll have a look in my service data on the computer, see if it's in there. If it's not, then I'm pretty sure I'll find out on the internet. And I need it really to be 4 ohms because the speakers I want to put on it are 4 ohms. And some of these it can say if it's. I think if it says minimum 4 ohm load, I think that you can put 8 on it or 4 around about that. But I think if it's 8 or 4. But if it just says 4 ohms, then that's what it wants. So, you know, there is no minimum load. It wants to see 4 ohms. And I'm not sure what this amplifier wants to see. I think it wants to see... if I remember, I think it wants to see 4. But, anyway... that's it for the... that's it for the little hacker. This will find a new home because, you know... although I like it and I want it, sadly I can't keep it. It has to be moved on, I'm afraid. So I've got to clean it all yet. Somebody somewhere is going to end up with a really, really nice usable record player. Be able to really enjoy their records on it. And Hacker amplifiers are very good. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching, and I've got a treat coming up for you tape recorder fans. I'll tell you what, I'll let it be a surprise. I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. Bye for now, folks.